This is going to be the last video I ever upload to this channel, because I've got a new one, and I'll explain that in a bit. This is not about my YouTube career. This is about the YouTube career of other people, and the current events that have been going on in the community, things that have happened. And you know what? I'm not going to hide behind a false persona. I'm just going to be me in this video, because it's stupid, the things that have been happening. When I first joined the YouTube community, there wasn't a YouTube community. This was back in 2007, 2009, and that's when things were not what they are now. I did not have a massive group of friends from the community. All I had was a few people that I'd met at the first Summer in the City gathering. And I'm not bashing Summer in the City, I love you guys. It's been the best thing in the world. I haven't been in a few years, but I will come back. But problem is, things spiraled out of control. And the start of this year, we had a lot of revelations from things that have happened and things that nobody really wanted to know, and nobody really wanted to come out, and nobody really wanted to be real, but it is, and it happened. And I'm not going to mention an awful lot of names, but some of the big ones were ones who knew they'd fucked up, and they've accepted that, and they're not going to go back on it. Then they can't go back on it. And it just seems to me that as time goes on, more and more things are happening, and worse things are happening, and people just seem to be becoming accustomed to this community of ours that once used to be great. We used to be such good friends, there was never problems, and now it seems like everyone's an arsehole. And that is partly why I never got into it anymore. That's why I left. That's why I became just a general kid who would not spend his life in a YouTube community. And I still go to meetups and stuff occasionally, and I still talk to a lot of old people, but I haven't been part of it. I haven't made videos because I didn't want to get tied up in what was going on, and I knew bad things were going to happen from it. And you know, I said Sandpepper would be the next one. I wasn't kidding. Obviously I knew it was going to happen, because I know what he's like. I'm not going to say how I know what he's like, because it's not my place to say, but the things that he's done is not a surprise to me, and I'm just very glad now that he is getting his comeuppance and that people are finally speaking out about it. Now I know one of my friends is planning to speak out about it as well, so you might hear about this from her in a few days' time as well, but when I started YouTube, when I started going to gatherings and Summer in the City, it was just a friendly place to be. It was, everyone was the same. No one was famous, no one was different. There wasn't a YouTube fame back then. I remember my first Summer in the City just chilling out with my favourite YouTuber at the time, which was Alex Day. And Alex and Charlie and Christina, actually, Christina Horner, they were the first three YouTubers I ever met. And, you know, Christina, she was absolutely lovely. Charlie, very quiet, but still very polite, very nice. And Alex was just loud, but I loved him at the time. He was great. Never did I expect or think that anything that happens, that has happened, would happen. And, you know, I was 15 at the time, so 14, 15, so my naive little mind didn't think anything would ever happen, anything would ever be weird, but it was. And that's what ruined YouTube for me at the beginning of the year, was all of this coming out, especially about Alex, because it's not something I would have expected to happen. I didn't want to happen. And then everyone else starts falling in tumble. There's Tom Milsom, there was Ed Bland, there was everything. There's Luke Connard as well. I didn't see that one happening. Kudos to Christina for that, because she's put up with a lot and come out the other side alright. And I know not many people are going to watch this, because I don't have a huge following, and I don't want a huge following because of this, because I do not want fame in a community, or I don't want a following in a community that is going to be like this, where every average Joe seems to think that assaulting women on the streets is a good thing, to think that you can make a point, or try and make a point, because you're doing a social experiment, Sandpepper, when you have sexually assaulted many people in the past. And it's okay? No, it's not. And sorry, I'm pissed off. This community used to be strong, this community used to be big, and YouTube is a big thing. It's not just for individuals now, companies use this, people have made a living out of YouTube, people do make a living out of YouTube, and there are a few very impressive people who have come out of the ashes of nothing and become something amazing. And then there are people like Sandpepper, and I mean, I'll recall the first time I met him, and probably the only time I can remember that I met him. He seemed like a really nice person at the time. We were playing frisbee at Summer in the City. I think it was the second Summer in the City that was around. We were playing frisbee. Didn't know him. Didn't know who he was. Everyone knew he was Big Brother or some shit like that. But he didn't. There was nothing about him that I knew. So I just treated him like an average person. Same what I do with everyone. I meet someone who's big on YouTube. I don't give a shit. You're a person. I like your content. Cool. Well done, mate. But then he seemed okay. And as time went on, I heard things from different people. And he got more well known. Fame got to his head. He started to think he could, I'm guessing, just do whatever the fuck he wants. And I don't accept that. Not in my community that I liked. So I left it. And, you know, it's hurtful to think that the incredible amount of people that I've met through YouTube, just being me, I'm not making videos on the internet all the time, I'm not producing content as much as I'd like to. I don't have the time, I work a full-time job. This is a push for me, because I've got to be at work at 7:30 in the morning, and I don't have the time to do this, so I'm not editing this. This is going to go up as a fresh piece, you know. But there are people who have got into YouTube and make their time to do it because they've got content to make, and fair play to you guys. And a lot of you are friends of mine. Well, a few of you are friends of mine. So a few of my friends jumped into YouTube as well, and they've done really well. You know, I've met so many people through it, and to think that this community is falling to ashes because of it. Now, I just want anyone who watches this video, which is not going to be many people, but anyone who watches this, just remember, one, if you were ever a victim of something like Sandpepper, and when I say something, I mean anyone who ever pressures you to do anything you don't want to do, you speak out, you tell someone, that someone can help you. You know, I was in that position with Sandpepper, and luckily I was able to convince my friend to make the right decision, and if I didn't, things could have happened and it could have been even worse than it was. And I love her to pieces, and I'm glad that she made the right decision. So glad. But if you are someone who is looking to get in, or you're getting somewhere in the YouTube community, just remember, don't lose yourself, because all these people, they were nice, and then things got to their heads. I think at the end of the day, you just have to remember to be a good human being, because you can't treat someone how you wouldn't want to be treated yourself. And that has ruined a once great community. Being someone that you don't want to be yourself. If you know what I mean. It's confusing, but just pretty much live by my philosophy. Don't be a cunt. Seriously, it's pathetic. And it's ruined people. And the things that I've watched, and I've just watched Lacey Green's video, and kudos to Lacey Green, because she does such amazing things, and she is such an inspiration for people. Just don't be an arsehole. Okay? Like I said, this is going to be my last video on Connor Loves Faces, because Connor doesn't love faces anymore. Connor's bored of faces. I'm getting back into YouTube slowly. I've been planning things to do. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but my new YouTube name is going to be down in the comments. It's Girl Look at That Body. Playing on my surname. The stuff will be up there one day, but this is just my sort of goodbye message and my don't be an arsehole message, because you can live your life however you want to, as long as you don't hurt the other people that are around you at the end of the day. You know, life, you only get it once. I know there's people out there that believe in second lives and reincarnation and a life after death. Cool. Your beliefs are what make you, and your faith is what makes you. But don't get too carried away with the life that you're living, because if you do, you will lose yourself in it, and then people get affected around you. It's like a ripple. You throw a stone into a lake, it's going to ripple and affect everything else around it. Every step and every action you take affects everyone around you. This is affecting me, and this is affecting people around me. And I know that, and it's something I'm trying to change, but won't get into that. You have your choices to make, and as long as you don't make the wrong choices that affect people in a negative way, then carry on. But if you're creating negative energy is going to hit back on you, and it's not going to be good. So don't. Just don't be an arsehole. And to people like Sandpepper, I hope you get your comeuppance. I really do. And I hope that, in some sense of the word, you will... What's the word? Can't think of it. Brain's dead. But I hope you will just not. Pretty much. My TV's gone off. End of the video. Thanks for watching, YouTube, and I'll see you on Go Look at That Body.